Hello, my name is Bethany. I'm Bethany Bird Stitcher here on Flosstube and also on Instagram, and I'm so happy you found my channel. Today I'm just sharing a quick update video about what all I've been stitching in the month of August. I've had several new starts, lots of FOs and FFOs, so I hope you'll stick around if this is interesting to you, and hopefully you find something you would enjoy stitching yourself. So let's get into it. First, I wanted to share two finishes that I had previously framed in something else, but I wanted them reframed eventually, and I knew I did, but I was waiting till I found something. So we were at the thrift store the other day and we found two frames. We found three, but two that worked for stitches I had. So this is the one I want to share first. There we go. And this is Cherry Summer by Owl Forest Embroidery. And previously it was in a white gray frame and it just didn't work very well. It didn't make it stand out at all, and it kind of dulled the colors even. So being in this brown frame, I think it is so much better and I really love it. I've been looking for a brown frame for this, and this hangs in my kitchen. And my kitchen theme is birds and berries, if you didn't know, and I count cherries as berries because they're close enough. Oops, sorry for the glare. So hopefully we can get a nice thumbnail for this, because this is one of my very favorite stitches that I've ever done. And again, this is Cherry Summer by Owl Forest Embroidery. I bought it for my birthday in 2023, I think. And then I stitched it up in a month or so. Might have been 2024, I don't remember. But it didn't take very long at all, and it was so much fun. And what I did, I didn't use the Owl Forest Embroidery threads. I used DMC, and I used a variegated green for the greens, and also the recommended green that Owl Forest has on their patterns. They have a DMC that they recommend, and then also their threads. And so to get the really pretty variegation look in those leaves and everything, I would use sometimes the DMC that was recommended and sometimes the variegated, which isn't recommended, but that's what I used. And so then the cherries with the red, I did the same thing. I think it's DMC variegated 115 for the red. And I did the same thing with sometimes using the variegated colors and sometimes using what was recommended to go with it and what I thought matched the 115. And I think I know I posted on my Instagram with the finish, but I'm not sure if I posted what colors I used. So if you're interested, I can find them for you. But this was a really lovely stitch. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites for that. So then we have Heron at Dawn, which this was previously finished into a hoop. And I wanted it in an oval frame, and we found this perfect one. I can't get without a glare. I'm sorry. There we go. So this is Heron at Dawn by Pigeon Coop Designs. There we go. There we go. Okay. And this was such a fun stitch. There are some mistakes in it, but I'm okay with that. I don't mind too much. Mostly, I think I miscounted somewhere in the bird, in the neck or the belly. I don't remember, but you would never know if I didn't tell you. So at some point I might paint this frame because I don't think it matches completely, but I loved the shape and size of it for this stitch. And later in the video, I have a new start that I am planning to do at some point. But anyway, I purchased it, so now we can start it at some point. Okay, hopefully those don't fall. And then the other thing I wanted to share were some giveaways that I've received recently. One of these came before my previous video and I just forgot to pull it out and share it. So this, okay, get it all stacked up here, sorry. All right, so this is a Love Poppet design, really cute hedgehog. And this was sent to me from Charlie Feathers, and she does a lot of needle minders and things. And it actually came with a hedgehog needle minder, which, let me see if I can pull that off of the other project it's on and show it to you. Yes, I can. Awesome. Okay, so this is the little hedgehog needle minder. Of course, I did it upside down. And I only have 2 needle minders, so I use these and move them around my projects. But isn't that so cute? I just love the little hedgehog. And I have learned that I love having needle minders either on my project or sitting around my stitchy spot. But I love that design. And what I'm thinking I might do is I might use a variegated DMC with it instead of all the dark brown, just to give it a fun look. And I might just do, I think it's 40-30, but it's purples and blues, and I think there's some lighter pinks or something. I might do that for this. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, and I haven't started it yet, obviously, so we'll get there when we get there. The other thing I received was this beautiful project bag from Handmade by Sarah W, and I will post all the Flosstubers and people I mentioned. And she sent a beautiful little card with it. So I keep that in there for now. And I might always keep it in there just to have other stitchy friends kind of with me as I'm stitching. And I'm excited to put this to use, but it's got a beautiful backing. And then the inside is like a black check. Let's see, there we go. Really pretty. So I love that. So thank you, Sarah. And then another thing came in the mail, and this is from, well, I shouldn't have shown that. I'm just realizing. Maybe I should cut that part out. Okay. So this is a cute little, she sent a card, and then she also sent this design, and let's see if we can get it up here. So it's this little monster in a cup. He's so cute. And my son instantly claimed it as soon as he saw it. He wants to stitch this. So that'll be fun. And then that was all the giveaways. Let's move on to FFOs. I have 3 FFOs right now. And so if you know me at all, you know I love stitching birds. And one of my favorite designers is Owl Forest Embroidery, and they have a lot of freebies on their website. So I downloaded some of those when I was first starting out, 2023 or 2, I don't remember. I should write stuff down. But anyway, I started in getting back into cross stitch after about a 20-year break, and I found a whole bunch of freebies from all these different designers, and Owl Forest Embroidery had several on their website. I think they had probably 30 freebies at that time. They've scaled it back a little bit, but I've stitched several of their freebies, and this was one of the first ones I ever did. And this is Starlings, and it's a freebie. And what I did, I changed the colors again. Owl Forest Embroidery has their own threads, their own floss that they use, and they sell as kits and things, but it takes a long time and it's quite expensive, and it's out of my budget. So I just use DMC where I can. And so what I've done is I've used the variegated green, the same as the one I used in Cherry Summer. I used a blue metallic shimmery for the Starlings. And then I used another variegated for the house and these colors in the birds and the Starlings themselves. And I forget those numbers. And then I used the recommended pink and light green, like a pale lime green. So that is Starlings. Sorry for the dog. And I turned this into a little church pouch for having my notebook on one side. Let's see. So we've got my notebook there, and then inside I've got room for, you know, other things that you would take to church, my Sunday school notebook and things. And then the pretty stitch on the other side, so I can keep all my notes together, and it works out perfectly. So that was Starlings from Owl Forest Embroidery. The next things I had finished, let's see if I can get them over here. Okay, oops. And of course, they're on the bottom. Let me find them. Okay. The next two things I finished, and this one was a start and a finish. But this is from Diana Bloom Designs. This is a freebie that she has. I think she released it at the beginning of August. Anyway, I downloaded it and started it right away, and I love it. It is beautiful. Summer Silk Moth, and it's just these beautiful pink poppies with the silk moth there. Really pretty. And so this is how I finished it. There we go. Try and get that glare away. And I stitched it on Herald, I believe, from Picture This Plus, 18 count, which most things I stitch are on 18 count. I don't know if I've said that in this video. But I had this frame from my mother a long time ago, never used it, and it matches the color of the fabric perfectly. It is stunning. I just love the light colors on the dark background, which in her digital mock-up, she's got a dark gray, but I used Herald, and I just, oh, I love it. It is so pretty. I love that. Okay, so this is Summer Silk Moth by Diana Bloom Designs, and it is also free. Definitely get it and stitch it. She has a lot of other designs that are just beautiful, which I will share later. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you now. She had a freebie for a design, not a freebie, I'm sorry. She has a Patreon, Diana Bloom Designs. She has a Patreon, and I think it's $8 a month. And there was a coupon for half off. And so I thought I'd go ahead and join for this month and get her cute little, I think it's called Feathered Friends. Let me look. Since I'm skipping ahead, I don't see it. Oh, Feathered Fleeting Glance. And it's these two dwarf kingfishers. They are so beautiful. Dwarf black-backed kingfishers, I believe they were. So cute. I love them. So I'll be starting those eventually too. All right, let's move on to our other FFO. And this is Gold Among the Flowers. Two beautiful goldfinches. And this is by Mudpuppy Stitchery, one of my other favorite designers. She might be my very favorite designer. And it's got this beautiful teal, dark teal that she recommended for it. And I think the one, whoops, threw that on the floor. I think the teal I found is just perfect. So what I did, I used Rit dye, and I dyed this with Rit dye. It was only in the dye for about 30 seconds. It wasn't very long at all. And it was the perfect shade of teal. So I love these gorgeous, gorgeous goldfinches. And I forget how many days it took me to stitch this. I think it was 11 days. It was a super fast stitch. And I always thought I hated white stitching. But what I've realized is I don't hate white stitching. I hate tone-on-tone stitching. And so now I can stitch anything, just be careful with the tone and, you know, try to enjoy it. Okay, so then that's all the FFOs. And the Summer Silk Moth was my first Sappho that I've ever had with Flosstube, so yay for that. Now we're going to share two finishes I had. So we have Ruru Owl, and this is a New Zealand owl, also called a moorpork, and this is from TinyKiwi. And I stitched it on a yellow Rit dyed fabric. Isn't it so pretty? I love it. I love the piercing gaze, the fun pinks and purples and navies. It's lovely. Very fun pattern. And she has sales quite frequently, so if you're in need of some block stitching, what I do is I always have a block stitch going on because I get frequent headaches where counting just is a struggle. So I always have something that I can either fill in or block stitching like that, and I keep it on the go so that when I have a headache, I can work on something like that. And I'll show you my current one that I recently started too. And that Ruru Moorpork Owl is a gift for my husband. So I'm excited about that. I'll get that fully finished eventually. And then my other finish for this month is Swans. And this is from Crusted Chappy Days by Kyoko Maruoka. She's a Japanese designer. Okay, there we go. And it's just so cute. I again used Rit Dye for this fabric. This is Rit Dye Bold Blue, I believe, which you can't get anymore. I think it's closest to Denim Blue, but I'm not entirely sure. It's not on their website anymore, so I'm not sure. But this is Swans. Just so cute. I love it. And I'm gonna finish it as a circle somehow, maybe as a jar topper. Not entirely sure. And then eventually sometime I will do the ducks for Swans and ducks. So that was my other finish. Let me just put this back because I need it for another design and I don't want to forget. Okay, let's keep going. We have starts. So this is my other headache stitch that I have going, and I forgot to pull out the page with the design, or with the picture. So this is Wombat, also from TinyKiwi. Excuse my voice, I'm not sure what happened. And I have a little start on that, not too much, but it's on green Rit dyed, and I forget exactly the color name, but really cute one. So it's just lots of browns and then the little pink nose. And again, that's Wombat from TinyKiwi on Etsy. And that's on a Rit dyed fabric. My pile is starting to fall, so let's have a new pile. All right, my next start is something I'm model stitching for Mudpuppy Stitchery. And this is part of my haul as well, so I'll go ahead and share that now too. I ordered Picture This Plus jade fabric, 18 count, to stitch this Mischievous Eucalyptus. Let's make sure it's in the frame. So really cute one. Beautiful little kookaburra from Australia. And the eucalyptus leaves. Oh, it's just so fun to stitch. I started this, well, it's not written on this book, but, well, I started it last Saturday actually. So I've been working on it for 1 week now. And it is amazing. I love the colors. I love the greens, how deep they are and how perfectly they go with this jade fabric from Picture This Plus. It's amazing. I just love it. I love the little details in the wing. And it, honestly, it looks like what you would search for when you search for a kookaburra and a eucalyptus tree. You would find this picture, literally. I don't know how she does her designs, but they're amazing. She's one of my favorite bird designers, her and Diana Bloom. They both quite amazing. So, definitely going to get back to that one. I'm going to leave this bag out because I'm not done with it. I have 2 projects in that bag. Okay. So those were my 2 starts that I didn't finish. As I said, I did start the Summer Silk Moth, but I finished that one. So then, the other thing I've stitched on, and I'll go ahead and share too. This is the fabric that I dyed for the ducks with the Swans and Ducks patterns from Kyoko. So that's in my bag. I don't know if I have threads pulled, but anyway. And the next design I have is actually the front cover stitch. I just poked myself with a needle in there. Okay, so this is Cat Among the Thistles. And this is on a wine Rit dyed fabric, 18 count. And I'm changing it slightly to be like my cat, Kaylee. Oops, sorry. So you can see here it's got some black in it. My cat is just gray, and then she's got a little bit of the orangey caramel color. So I've made the accent color, which was black, into that gray. And then I just have her back there to finish. She's super cute. This side of flowers is all done. This one still has, I think, 2 purple and maybe another white. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but most of that side is done, except for some flowers. And again, that's Cat Among the Thistles. I really love this one, especially on that fabric. It just stands out so well. It's amazing. My other stitch that I've worked on this month is in this Pretty Shells bag. I guess you can't see the shells with all the threads there, but oh well. And all my bags I make myself with a design that I kind of created myself, basing it off of a few other people's YouTube tutorials, and just combined them to get what I wanted out of a bag. So here we go. This is Glacier Bay, and it is from the book America the Beautiful Cross Stitch. And it's a really lovely design. And as you can see, I've got the sky fill in ready, so this is a great one for headaches again. And then I'll just have the bottom left. I'm undecided if I will fill in the white or just leave it, since I stitched it on white fabric. I may just leave it, but I'm not sure. And this will be a birthday gift for my middle child. So let's move on. This is my last whip that I worked on. And this is Kestrel Kiwi, which I am model stitching for Kenzie in Mudpuppy Stitchery. Really, really beautiful stitch. So let's see if we can get it on here. Okay. There we go. And this is Kestrel Kiwi. All of the border parts are done. All I have left is the bird's belly and a little bit of the tail. But the colors are amazing. It's really, really stunning. I love every moment of stitching on this. There's quite a bit of design in the bird itself, in those wings and everything. So what I do when I stitch something, I work with the smallest use of that color, and then I work my way and add on to it. So I probably started with the black in here, and then I added the yellow, or the orange, I guess that's orange, light orange, and then there's some yellow that goes around it. I will add that last once I get some more of the other parts done. But yeah. And again, I'm model stitching this for Kenzie at Mudpuppy Stitchery, and this is Kestrel Kiwi. It's going to be in my kitchen eventually. And oh, I'm sorry, this is on mint 18 count Picture This Plus fabric, which is just so cute. So I love that stitch. Okay, let me just look at my notes real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think so. Okay, so I mentioned the kookaburra fabric, and then I had a friend that's doing some destashing and decluttering in her craft area, and she offered to give me some of her books, specifically some of her bird books. And I'm not going to show them all to you today. I'm just going to show you 2 of them that I really want to stitch something out of these books. And this one was actually on my wish list. Whoop, sorry. And I'm sure you can tell this is Birds and Berries. So as I said, that's my kitchen theme, and it's from the Prairie Schooler. I have had this in my wish list for a very, very long time. And I will probably start with the red-winged blackbird down here. In fact, I think I've kitted that one up already. And then I'll probably do the cardinal and maybe the other 2, but definitely I'm going to be stitching these 2. Don't know when, but I do already have the colors kitted up for the red-winged blackbird. I just love that. And we see red-winged blackbirds at our park when we go to the park. As a family, we go usually about twice a week. It's not been quite that much over the summer with the heat. It just activates some of my flare-up symptoms, so we haven't been going as much with the kids and I. Anyway, the next one are these beautiful loons, and I don't remember. Call of the North Country True Colors Cross Stitch. Okay, there we go. Designed by Michelle Johnson. Sorry, I didn't write all that down. I should have. But I love these loons, and I would probably stitch this one first just because I love it so much. You can't see the design of the loons quite as much, but that's okay. And Kenzie from Mudpuppy Stitchery and Diana Bloom from Diana Bloom Designs, they both did a collaborative design where they both designed 2 loons. They each designed a loon and then released them as a collaborative effort together. So pretty, beautiful patterns. Definitely check them out. And then just 2 left. I'm almost done. Or 2 designs left, I should say. I recently, well, I guess it was the end of the month, last month, but it was after I'd already filmed my Flosstube. I had finished most of the Pigeon Coop Designs book of patterns for the single birds, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Whew. Took a while, but I got there eventually. And so since he had a sale, I forget what the sale was exactly, but I knew I wanted to get this bird, and so I did, and this is the cormorant. And it seems like it's, oh, it's over there in the bottom of the pile. Never mind. It seems to be a companion piece, and I'll go ahead and get it. Oh, yep. That was fun. Okay. It seems to be like a companion piece to Heron at Dawn, which I loved stitching as well. And so I'm excited to kind of frame these similarly. Maybe if I can find another one of these oval frames, or even just to display close to each other, because they're such sweet little designs together. Okay, and then the other one is Chili Chickadees, which they are so cute. I just love them. They're adorable. I love chickadees. We have chickadees all the time at our bird feeders, so I always love chickadees. So those are 2 of my will be starting, but have no definite plans, and I would definitely start the cormorant first. And those are in another bag I made with cardinals and sunflowers. Really cute bag. So those are all in there. And then last thing to start, but not the least thing to start. And these are for sows, so I'm going to need my book to remember what I've got going. Okay. Pardon me if this is a little bit awkward. I'm trying to get out the fabrics and everything. And I have these in a portfolio, which I'll show you quickly. This is one of the first project keepers that I made for myself. I love the colors. I love purples and blues, and the other one that I made was this butterfly, purple and blue again. Purples, blues, teals, those are my favorites. Okay, so I've got my fabric picked out for these 2 starts that will be... Okay, let me go ahead and share the hashtags for them. So I am starting Fox and Butterflies from Pigeon Coop Designs, Cross Stitch in the Forest book, and I'm sure you've seen this. A lot of people are stitching, have stitched, will be stitching all kinds of things from this book. So let me just share a few things that I'm going to be starting out of this book. And the first one is Fox and Butterflies, as I said. And here is the beautiful design. And so this lovely design is going to be stitched on yellow dyed fabric, sorry. And what I'm doing, since I'm stitching it on yellow, I'm stitching it for my daughter, and she has requested that I stitch it with, instead of the yellow butterflies and flowers down here, I'm going to be changing the colors to teals and purples. These have reshuffled in my bag. But anyway, so the yellow fabric with the teals and purples and greens and oranges, I think it's going to be lovely. So stunning. So I will be starting that for her, and that's for her birthday, which is in October. And she's concerned I won't be able to stitch it very fast. But then I showed her some of the other things I've finished this month that took 4, 9, 11 days. I said, I'm sure I can finish that in 2 months. Because her birthday is the end of the month, which I also have the Orca Glacier Bay, sorry, that I'm stitching for my son, and their birthdays are separated by 1 day. So I have 2 things I'm working on finishing for those. And then the other new start from this book, hang on, go back to the Fox and Butterflies. The Sal is hashtag Fall for Foxes Sal, and that's with Wild Fox Stitchery and Forest Crone Crafts on Instagram, and I believe they might have Flosstubes. I'm not sure. I should have confirmed that, but I know they're on Instagram. So if you have any any fox design that you want to start and stitch along, you can do that totally. And even if you're not planning on stitching it and finishing it, still start it. We'll get where we get together. Okay, so that was Fall for Foxes Sal, and I'll put that in the box. And I'm stitching Fox and Butterflies. It can be any fox though. And then the other one that I'm doing is Snow Queen. Whoop. Also from this book, also a stitch along, which I'll share in a minute. And I'm using this bold blue Rit dyed fabric. And so let me see if I can hold the book and the colors. Nope, it's not gonna work. Hang on. Okay, well, anyway, let's try this way. There we go. Okay, so there's the colors down at the bottom. It's only 3 blues, a white, and a yellow for the eyes. And then, like I said, I'm stitching on that bold blue. So that is going to be so pretty. I love her. And I may stitch her only as the owl. I may not stitch the trees. I haven't fully decided yet, but this is going to be for one of my sisters. Love it. She's just so pretty. And again, I was worried about stitching. When I first got the book, I was worried about stitching on dark fabric and also stitching with white. As I said, I didn't realize it was tone on tone that I am less interested in doing. So, okay. And the hashtag for that is Stitchin' Owl Sal with, and it'll be with myself, so you can tag me, Bethany.birdstitcher on Instagram, and also Karen, she is the Stitching Owl on Instagram and Flosstube. She has beautiful Flosstubes. Go check her out, please. She has amazing projects that she's working on. Full coverage, smaller things, ornaments, like you name it, she's stitching it. And it's stunning. So much fun. I love watching her. Okay, so Stitch and Owl Sal, and I will again put that in the description box below because I know that's not going to come up right with any way I try to say it. So that's with the Stitching Owl and myself. And oh, I forgot to mention the Stitching Owl. She just finished the Fox and Butterflies. And so now she's going to be stitching the owl from here with me, the Snow Queen. But you can stitch any owl you want and just tag Stitchin' Owl Sal. And we're going to be starting that in September, but you can start and finish whenever you want. So, all right, let's see. So then for the month of September, I'll have those 2 Sals that I will be doing. And there's a third one I might do. Let me see if I can find my book. I forgot to keep it separate. Let's see, how far back? Here we go. Okay, so Adelaide Stitches on Flosstube. She is doing a hashtag Space September, I think was the hashtag, but I will correct it if I'm not right. Okay, she is stitching Space for September for her son. And she has an awesome Flosstube and just got 5,000 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. So I may be stitching with her. I haven't fully decided if and what I will be stitching, but I have 2 designs, both are ones that she mentioned in her recent Flosstube sharing about the Space September. And she's doing so many beautiful space themed things. But one of the ones that I had was from Cross Stitch Happy Days, and it is called Watcher of the Skies. And it is so neat. And I would probably do it on that bold blue fabric again. Might even have enough to split between the Snow Queen and Watcher of the Skies. I just love the planets and the stars. So pretty. And I would probably do this for one of my children, so I may change it from a girl with a ponytail. I might try and rechart it to be a boy. I'm not sure. I might cut it out and put something else. I don't know. It's really neat to see them looking up at the sky just in wonder. I don't know. So we'll see. I might start one of those, but definitely starting the other two first. And then another option for the Space September is this beautiful one. And this is another one that she had, Adelaide had, and she's going to be probably starting in September. And this is Aurora from Cross Stitch in the Forest again. So there will be a lot of stitching happening from this book. We'll wear it out. But what I'm thinking about doing, and she mentioned she might do it in teals, but what I want to do is I want to change it so that it is teals, purples, and maybe even a pink added in there, and just really make it pop, especially on the black fabric. And it looks like it's over the lake, and it just, the reflections, it's just a beautiful design. But again, I'm not sure I'll get to that. It is just an option for starting Space September. So we'll see how far we get with all of those. And then my focus whip, well, I'm planning to have at least 2 of those starts, and maybe the Space September starts as well. For finishing, I'm planning to finish Kestrel Kiwi and Mischievous Eucalyptus, both of those. I'm pretty sure I can finish both of those this month, because the Kookaburra, the Mischievous, let me find it. Mischievous Eucalyptus. Both of those are ones that just have fill-in basically. There's a little bit of counting involved in the Kestrel Kiwi, but the Mischievous Eucalyptus, I am quite certain there's not a whole lot of counting left. At least not for the bird's body. There's some counting for that branch that it's sitting on and then the leaves at the bottom. But it's easy counting because it's just mainly block stitching and a little bit of stripe stitching. So that'll be a pretty easy finish. Shouldn't take maybe a week or 2. So hopefully I can finish that one. And then I will be hopefully finishing Kestrel Kiwi, which is again another one that has a little bit of counting, but not too much, not too terrible. And then it's just finishing the belly there. And then my focus whip, for the month will be Red Tail Raspberries, which I didn't work on this at all last month. It's very intense for counting and working on it, and I also started it on an oatmeal rustico type fabric, and it has a lot of fibers in it, which is just not as soft and comfortable as the Picture This Plus. So anyway, but this is Red Tail Raspberries from Mudpuppy Stitchery. Beautiful design, but there was a lot of counting, and I've had a lot of headaches and just was unable to do this at all this past month. What I did in July was a lot of the border to try and make some progress on it, but I didn't finish even the border. And then I would just have the wings here, the folded wings left. But the colors of it are amazing. There's raspberries there. It's a beautiful design. It's one of my favorite designs, and I wish I could work on it when I have a headache, but I just can't. So there's a little bit left. The tail is fully complete. The head is fully complete. And the border is over halfway, I think. Let's see if I can hold it up with Yeah, the border's over halfway done. There's just a few motifs and borders here and there. The top border is still left to be done, and then a few motifs here, and finish this here. And I think that's about done. And so then it's just a lot of counting here in the middle. And because I'm model stitching for her, I don't want to mess it up. That's the main reason I haven't worked on it with my headaches. I don't want to mess it up and ruin it for her, or have to recount something, pick it out. I'm not a big frogger. I'd rather fudge it and keep going. But with model stitching, I can't do that. So I just have a little bit left on the wings and then the border. So this is my focus piece. I'm hoping to work on it every day. If I have a headache, I'll try to stick to the border pieces that are easier counting, and you know, I might not get to it every day, but that's okay. So hopefully it is at least much closer to a finish at the end of September. So then we have 2 finishes, hopefully, 1 focus whip, 2 starts, maybe a 3rd or 4th start. I'm not sure about those 2. The space, but I will tag all those people in the description box. Even if I don't stitch anything for them, I'll still tag them so you can find your space stitching and get going on there. Okay, let's see. So I've mentioned a lot of Flosstube people within this video, and so I won't go back over those, but I did want to share 2 other people who really are inspiring in the Flosstube community. And I try to mention 4 or 5 people each video, and I've definitely already done that, but I wanted to add these 2 people because Ditsy Daisy Crafts, you need to go watch her, go find her. She is so encouraging. She has beautiful stitching, but more than that, she has a beautiful heart, and she wants to encourage other people. And so probably a 1/3 of her video is just lifting up other stitchers, other Flosstubers, other people that she finds inspiring. And she herself is just an amazing, inspiring person, and I love her. She's amazing. So please go find Ditsy Daisy Crafts on Flosstube, and I believe she's on Instagram as well. I'm pretty sure, and I'll tag her in the description. And then the other one is 911 Stitcher, and she has so many fun stories, so many things, so many adventures. She's very fun to watch. She has a huge variety of things she likes to stitch. She also has a Facebook group, and you can find her on Flosstube and then go find her on Facebook. I'm not sure about Instagram. She probably does, but I need to go find her. So that's my homework. And your homework is to go find all these lovely Flosstubers, which I will tag all of them, and I will tag all the hashtags and things in the description box. Please go find them. And there was something else I was going to mention, but I forget what it is right this second. So then I wanted to mention 2 other things. My husband bought me this beautiful cup, and no, it is not cross-stitch related at all, except for you need to be drinking water. So here's this gorgeous cup. Oh, I love it. We found it at Michael's, or Marshall's. Yep, Marshall's, sorry. Michael's is the other one. But just beautiful peacock feathers. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love it. Makes me happy to see it. And the other thing I wanted to mention are these gorgeous earrings. They are butterfly wings, which I love. Birds, butterflies, berries, all the bees apparently, which I'm just realizing. Aren't they so cute? And so they're just these butterfly wings, and he 3D printed them. Did I say who it was from? I'm sorry. It's 3D prints by Rob, and I will tag him in the description box as well. And you can go get yourself some earrings. They do ship. I don't know if they ship internationally, but if you're in the United States, they will ship to you. So pretty, so cute. So he gifted those to me. So I wanted to share those as well. And I think that's everything. So check the description box for everything I've mentioned, all the Flosstubers, all the Instagram people. Check them all out there. All these lovely designers. I thank you so much. You bring so much joy. You have no idea how happy stitching makes other people, and so thank you. If you're a designer, even if you only have one design, thank you. It's an amazing task that I don't think I'd ever undertake. I won't say never, because I never thought I'd have a Flosstube either, but I truly, truly appreciate all the hard work that goes into all these designers, and those that offer freebies. Just, it's amazing. Thank you. It's so neat to get a little taste of a designer's, get a feel for them, what they like to stitch. And so if you've offered freebies ever at any point, thank you. It's truly appreciated. And now it's given me a taste for purchasing patterns from you and trying those out, because I know how amazing your work is, how amazing and easy to read your charts are, which I don't have any charts here that I can really show, but thank you. It is so encouraging. And as a newbie stitcher, freebies were all I was doing. Newbie back to stitching, let me say that, because I've been stitching for 24 years, something like that. Ugh, don't want to think about that. Anyway, as a newbie stitcher, freebies were all I could stitch because I didn't have a lot of money that I wanted to invest in a hobby like this. And now they say you spend $250 on your hobby a year. Yes, that's all. That was it. But anyway, so I hope this has encouraged you. I hope you find encouragement through your stitching. And even if you can only look at your charts and, oh, I want to stitch that, I wish I could stitch that. Maybe you're in the wrong headspace. Maybe your mental health is going through struggles. I know mine has been horrible this summer. With my physical health being lower, it makes my mental health struggle just so much. And this summer has not been great, but I'm getting through it and we're coming back. I've hopefully got some doctors on my side helping me get through things. So we will get there. We'll get there together. Enjoy whatever aspect of stitching you can, even if it's collecting patterns or just looking through your beautiful threads that you have, or your beautiful finishes or whips, whatever it is. If you can't stitch because of physical or mental limitations, don't. Do what makes you happy, and if just sitting there and looking at things makes you happy, or maybe that causes more stress, then don't worry about that either. Just find beauty in whatever you can, whether it's nature outside, whether it's being home in the cool air inside, or if you're in the other part of the world, in New Zealand or Australia or something, then find beauty in anything at all, whether it's cooking. I don't like to cook, but I enjoy eating. And if you find something that you enjoy eating, enjoy it to the fullest. Enjoy every single moment and just appreciate whatever you can. You can get through this. I know you can. I still am. And if I can encourage you and help you at all, please send me a message on Instagram. I would love to connect with other stitchers. Maybe you're not a stitcher and you accidentally found me. I don't know. Whatever it is, if there is anything I can do to help encourage you, to pray for you, just to get you through the next thing, reach out to me, please. I want to encourage other people. I've been very low this past summer, and I'm so thankful that I'm finally coming out of it, and I would love to reach down and help somebody else and just get through this together. So please contact me, connect with me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're stitching. I would love to see what you're stitching. So contact me, send me an email. I will try to post that in my description box as well, which I think it's just bethany.birdstitcher@gmail.com. So super easy. Reach out, let me know what you're doing, how you're doing. If there's anything I can do or pray, let me know. I would love to help you. Others have been such an encouragement to me, and I'm so grateful for the stitching community and all the Flosstubers who I have met virtually. I haven't met any of them in person yet, but I'm really thankful for all the people in this stitching community, and I'm thankful for you. And I just realized this video is almost 50 minutes. This is my longest yet. So if you're still here, thank you, and I'm sorry. And I hope you have a very, very wonderful and blessed day.